I don't know what the big deal is when someone calls a movie cheesy. Cheese tastes good. There are many among us who are very resistant to cheesy, corny movies. I count myself among them. The Notebook, for example, did nothing for me, but was beloved by so many others. So, to each his own, sure, right? However, when I saw this new film, Song Sung Blue, it just hit me in the right spot, and I acknowledge it is cheesy and it is corny. But there's something about the guilelessness? Yeah, that's a word. In which it is portrayed that really swept me up. This film comes from Craig Brewer. It's based on the documentary of the same name, Song Sung Blue, by Greg Coase, and it tells the story of Mark and Claire Sardina, a real-life Milwaukee couple who in the late 80s and the 90s formed a Neil Diamond tribute band. Mike is played by Hugh Jackman, and Claire is played by Kate Hudson, and they formed this band that they like to call Lightning and Thunder, Lightning being Mike, Claire is the thunder portion, and they are struggling artists early on. They know they're never going to make it big. They just love to sing, they love to perform, they love that feeling, and they embrace it. And Mike's preference is for Neil Diamond songs, but he goes on the circuit at these county fairs and sort of being wedged into performing other songs, and he knows that's not right. And he sees a like mind in Claire. They fall in love, and they start to really embrace the music of Neil Diamond. Now, Neil Diamond's songs, there's no subtext. It's just all text. It's just feelings, and, they're very direct and very bold and memorable. And he's got an amazing catalog to draw from. And this film has the good grace to, let us experience the songs. They're not quick little snippets. But we follow Mike and Claire as they form this band in Milwaukee, and they start to develop a real following. And what happens is, unbelievable. I mean, if it weren't true, you wouldn't believe that it actually happened. Some of the instances along the way, whether they are triumphant or extremely tragic. And they weather the storm really well. Hugh Jackman and Kate Hudson are fantastic together. This is the definition of film-movie chemistry. They really feed off of each other really well. I think this is my favorite performance of Kate Hudson's since Almost Famous, 25 years ago. And she is fantastic. She does a really good Wisconsin accent, too. And she just is so vivid, and you really feel for her character as it goes along. She has two children who are beautifully played. One daughter, Rachel, played by Ella Anderson, and younger Dana, played by Hudson Henley, who is just... They're both fantastic. Hudson just kind of steals the movie, though, just with his joy in watching his mother perform. It's beautiful. He just really gets a kick out of it, and it was very sweet. Pop star King Princess plays Angelina, who is Mike's daughter, and she forms an unlikely bond with Rachel that I really loved. I loved watching these two very different types of people come together. Supporting cast is wonderful. Michael Imperioli plays a Buddy Holly tribute singer, and while he doesn't quite look the part, I don't think that's the point. He's not really supposed to. He's very engaging. Jim Belushi plays their tour manager, booking manager, and he's lends really good comic relief, as does Fisher Stevens as Mike's dentist, who is also his manager, or his agent. It's pretty funny that it's this very small time look at a musician's life, and I really appreciated how well rounded that became. There's plenty of musical numbers. This is beautifully shot by the cinematographer Amy Vincent. There's really bold concert lighting that puts you in this dreamlike state that really echoes how the characters are feeling when they're performing. And I love that feeling. And yet, in the scenes at home when they're not performing, or if they're performing in the garage rehearsing, it's so grounded in reality. There's a great shot where Hugh Jackman jumps with his guitar and lands on the ground, and the camera shakes along with him. That really puts you there in their love of music. It's also no small feat to get clutter and design correctly for characters like this. And Clay Griffith does a wonderful job as a production designer, really collaborating well with Amy Vincent in bringing us into this vivid world where you believe these spaces that they're in, you believe these houses, you believe the concert spaces, and how small town they feel, and yet how triumphant their inner lives are as they're performing. Just loved it. And it goes through some usual beats that you would expect in a film like this, and it gets pretty somber. The first half is very joyous, and then it gets pretty somber and a little downbeat, but it delivers by the end to make you feel good. And the funny part is everybody thinks, Sweet Caroline, that's the song that I always want to hear from Neil Diamond. And it gets its due many, many times in the film. You're going to be doing the ba-ba-ba and the so good, so good, so good. However, it's these deeper cuts in his catalog that really shine in the film, that really get their due. I really appreciated the dedication and the love for Neil Diamond. Someone who my mother loved. She loved dancing around the house too, but not somebody that I really took a shine to until more recent years with the Beautiful Noise Broadway show, and now this, where you really just appreciate the craft in these songs and the build. He loves those builds and those key changes. He's kind of like Barry Manilow in that way, where they really were showmen who like to make the audience feel good. And these might not be the most successful musicians on the planet, but it's infectious to just watch them love what they do. So this is one of my favorites of the year. And, while acknowledging that it's not going to be for everyone, but I think if you like The Notebook, you'll like this. It's just a good time at the movies. It comes out Christmas Day, and I'd love to, hear what you think about it. Give me a like and a subscribe. I always look at the comments that people have, whether they're positive or negative. I appreciate any feedback. So thanks, and see you next time.